Alright, so guys, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another video. We're going to be playing against a Vladimir in a normal game for educational purposes. And what we're going to be doing here is, I actually taking a look at this jungle matchup. We can play for 2v2, so playing for an early level 2 advantage isn't really the worst thing ever. We do need to make sure that we're playing our Q smart. Part of the reason on why we throw out our Q early is so that it's easier to reposition, since there's less travel time, since the ball is already out there. And then you can use it to put pressure on every single minion that they go up to. So what we're really trying to do is avoid his range when he has access to Q. And you can tell when his Q's up because that yellow bar is essentially a progress bar for when it's up. So we're going to make distance when he has it and then immediately engage back in when it's on cooldown. And it's kind of rough because he will outsustain most of your damage anyways just by Qing on cooldown. But it doesn't mean that you can just, you know, play lane without doing anything if you have a jungle matchup that is winning. So we're applying pressure, we're making it to where he isn't allowed to do whatever he wants for free. We're making sure that we are able to move if necessary for Kindred. Now, we do have a pretty decent defensive ward, so I'm going to go and drop one on Raptors. We see that Hecarim is 8 CS, which means that he has done a full clear from bot side. And that's important because it means that he's pathing towards top. So knowing that information means that as long as I play on the bomb side of mid lane, it is significantly harder for Hecarim to actually gank me. It also means that because we saw him at Raptors, if my Kindred is paying attention, Kindred could just invade at blue buff and instantly win the game. So all of that information is granted just by getting a ward on Raptors and then paying attention to it. So the thing is, Kindred didn't identify that information, so they're not able to play around it. And that's why being able to look at information, interpret it in the correct way is a valuable asset. So crab spawns at 315, which means that Hecarim will most inevitably end up at that crab in a couple seconds. So I need to think about whether I want to go walk up there or just hold wave. But once Kindred farms this, what is she going to do? She's got nothing else to do, so she can either gank mid or she can cross over for the second. And she's going to cross over. So technically it's still pushing back to me, which means it was gankable if we waited a little bit, but it's probably just better for her to farm that camp. But again, you see how many options we have, and that's just because we're creating a situation where we're able to do all of that. I really shouldn't be melee range of minions just because Hecarim could just wallbang me from behind. And I should stop using my W so much. I should just play through Q and Manifold Band stacks. But you see how far Vladimir has to walk up right now without the adequate protection? It's very, very difficult for this Vlad to play the way that they want. And a really, really great gank from Gragas. I think they possibly could have held Flash and then played the tempo really slow, but otherwise really well executed. But yeah, I agree. You can definitely help me push this. Okay, and unfortunately I'm going to push another wave just because it's going to get caught out, but the good news is this will basically net me a lost chapter on first recall since I do have access to futures market. So it's not really a bad thing, it's just that if I get caught out by Hecarim right now, I probably lose my flash. Alright, we're going to go and reset here, grab our items. If we didn't want to go in debt, we could do another combination of items, but it really just is that valuable having access to infinite resources. Because I could go tier, I could do tier, Amp Tome, Dark Seal, and that would also be a really good purchase. But when we have an advantage like this, I kind of want to keep pushing my lead, and I want to make sure that I'm getting the most value. Because once I get this massive chunk of mana and AP, raw AP, like I just get so much control. Because I'm never going to feel bad about casting my skills, right? Because I just have constant update. I'll always have the resources necessary. Every time I level up, I'm getting pretty much 15% mana back. So they do have flash, which means I'm going to try and force it with a Q here. And hopefully, with a shield, we can actually outplay this. We shouldn't be melee range since they can Q stack, but a little bit of an overstep from Vladimir. We actually kill him here if we cut off with Soraka, so hopefully this does well. Very early commit from the silence, so it's a little bit hard to reposition around. We definitely win this, so I'm going to keep engaging here. Well, at least force the Nami flash, right? Okay, very good. And if he engages here, we can also just keep fighting. Turn on to the Lucian here for a free kill, and we're just going to go and reset immediately. And the reason why I'm resetting instead of staying is because I just need to make sure I get back to lane in time to catch this CS, and I can freeze the Vladimir once again. I'm thinking about doing a tier and a dark seal, but I could also just go blasting. I think with the massive lead that we have, it's illegal not to go blasting 1 tier. Keep in mind, this means that eventually when I go for Seraphs as a 2nd or 3rd item, it's going to delay that upgrade for a long time, which is fine. I'm considering going Luden Shadowflame this game, so I actually probably won't even build tier. I'm just going to rely on mana flow plus Luden's mana. People often say futures market sucks. Is Ori a special case for it? So the thing is, people just don't understand how to use futures market. So futures market's really nice because it allows you to essentially always have a really great recall. You do lose gold sometimes, but it's the difference between hitting a power spike on a good timer or not hitting a power spike. So think about what you would take instead. Instead of futures market, what would we take? Minion DMAT, like, who actually cares about minion DMAT? What do you think of Scorch plus Biscuits? I think Scorch Biscuits is pretty strong for lane phase. If you're not playing for lane phase, then Scorch Biscuits isn't really fantastic. So it's really dependent on the context of your goals. I have a Kindred this game, so playing aggressively makes sense. I wasn't looking at my screen, my bad. I threw with a peripheral, my mic's covering half of my vision, so I just assumed that he wasn't going to hit the button. Oh, that minion block's unreal. Let's think about flash QWing, but it's not worth it if I trade shutdown here. I'm 100%. He's level 5. We can actually outplay this if I phase rush. He at level 6, we lose. Unlucky. No way. Guys, we give a 150 gold shutdown so we get ego instead of just playing the game normally. We probably would have been fine if he didn't hit level 6, though. So this is like paying a price for our actions. We waste our ultimate. We know Vlad has no flash, so we could have just played it longer. The reason why it's so bad is even though it's a 1-for-1, I'm not able to farm minion waves while I'm dead, and I'm also giving over gold. So it goes from being 300 for 0 for being 300, 300, and then we're not even including the 250 gold from waves. Because every wave is worth 125, right? So I'm missing 1 wave, and the enemy is getting a wave. So it's more like a 550 gold swing just because I'm killing myself. If it isn't the consequence of my actions, that's what I'm saying. It's either DMAT market or biscuit, so I take market if I want to use that tree, basically. Because I'm running magical footwear. Magical footwear is 420 gold worth of value in terms of stats for free, right? I'm already committed to scaling. Every single rune page on Orianna is basically scaling besides Aerie, so if I don't plan on playing for early priority, it's just better for me to play for mid to late game with my rune optimization. There are lanes where you'll go biscuit on top of magical footwear, but again, it's just dependent. Do you actually need the sustain? I pretty much outrange Vladimir always. Okay, I actually fucked myself with a really bad crosshair placement. Dude, he's better than me. He's better than me. He started so good. I'm probably gonna still upload it anyways. Like, making mistakes is pretty common. Even if you have a lead, like, if you fail to focus and execute properly and you give up your lead, that's such a common thing to do in League of Legends. You can tell that I'm not as focused with the way that I'm playing. As a result of being really ahead, I'm like forcing trades without thinking about where jungle is. I'm giving them opportunities to hit me back because I'm just egoing it. That's something that you have to eventually confront and focus on fixing. Because I have a really massive lead, but if I fail to transition it to anything meaningful, does it matter that I got ahead? Not really, right? So again, we have to be playing around his Q3, we have to be playing around jungle placement. My jungler's on Raptors right now, so like the reason why I'm playing so aggressively is so I can move if I need to. But also because she's covering the gank, right? Every time I force Vlad to move through my range, it's also a free opportunity. You're kidding. That's really tragic. I'm an Ornn main, so every masterwork has an additional 1k gold value on top of the mythic value. The faster I can get that, the better. True. Alright, so we basically die here if Hecarim one-shots me from above, top side, so that's like the thing I have to play around.
My god, he's a simp.
I have 2 wards right now, so the fact that I'm not using either one of these wards while having complete ability to do so is also quite worrisome. But as a result of putting the ward down, you see I was given an opportunity to start getting Q stacks in. Did. Hecarim's top right now, so that's quite good information. I have enough mana to full combo. There's no pull on Vlad right now, so there's no way for him to dodge this. If I run through the shrine, I can get move speed buff. Fuck, Q3 again. Oh no! Alright, let's just go reset. I'm gonna come back with TP anyways. Tell me more, man. I hate Vlad players. Vlad players just get gifted with so much free gameplay options. I'm out here struggling on my control mage while he just taps the Q button repeatedly, like sweating a storm. Hecarim's on our top side jungle right now. So the cool thing is, because I'm TPing in, I can actually hold the wave if I want to, so I could technically freeze it. Part of the issue here is that as a result of not freezing, Vlad's been allowed to free farm as much as he wants under tower. I think Hecarim might actually be on Krugs. Yeah, good job. I think we all hate playing against Vlad. Vlad is just one of the poorly designed champs in this game that doesn't make sense. I play Ori, a champion that is completely balanced and everyone agrees is like the bastion of champion design, and then this person picks a champ where it's like, oh, if you fail to kill me, I will infinitely heal. So maybe we will just opt to permanently freeze after crashing this wave one more time. Hecarim's dead, so right now there's really nothing that can stop me from applying threat. But as a result of having no tier, my mana pool is always running out. That's the play that works. After all of those plays, that's the one that works. That is the one that works. Alright, we're overstaying right now. I get nothing from hitting this tower. I've already got full reset. Let's get back. I bet if figuring out good trades ended up being out-sustained. Well, a lot of it's like, are you currently stronger in the moment? And what are you playing around? So if we're fighting for minions, there's a lot of ways to make situations where you'll always have an advantageous trade, just because you're forcing them to fight on a bad timer. So like if I'm going up to right-click a minion and somebody hits me, I can't really divert my attention 2 ways. So looking to fight when you're stronger is always going to be a positive. Because it's like the difference between a fight being 50-50 and a fight being 80-20 in your favor. For example, for you, yeah, Luden's upgraded is just huge with the magic pen. This is 100% warded. My bot lane should be mid lane, because they should be taking mid tower, so that they can have central position on the map to apply threat. Being bottom here is just kind of greedy, because it doesn't really accomplish much. I didn't expect him to dash, I'm going to be honest. I thought he'd play it slow, and then maybe I could get another combo in. We see 2 top right now, so that's part of the reason why we can play so aggressively up here, is knowing that there's nothing here to punish me. Oh, you're dead, 100%. You take a look at the itemization on these 2 players, there's pretty much no way they can ever match me in terms of raw DPS. So being in the side lane where I can consistently get free CS, but also like kill pressure, is only punishable if I actually get ran down by jungle. So if Hecarim doesn't play to shut me down side lane, I will continuously just continue to ramp up in power. And you take a look at the vision that my team has set up for me, and there's quite a bit. So this isn't a product of me playing the game correctly. This is a product of me just being really far ahead and being a better player. So I should have 100% died there. Giving them the opportunity to get, again, another shutdown should not be coin flipped that easily. It's funny too, because we can verbally talk about what we're doing, but even then you still find ways to be distracted or not play the game optimally. Something that we all struggle with. Yo, Saber, how we doing today? Good morning. That's why I like TP so much, is being able to catch side waves means that I'm pretty much always going to be top farm in game, usually. The downside again is if the jungler is winning, you can't really play side lane. Depends on matchup as well. Vlad should never be able to kill me if I'm properly positioning. And then Vlad is probably ganking mid, so... It's a bit of an overextension. They don't have Hecarim ult, so I feel confident doing this, but we see two on the map. We see Camille and Lucian. Hecarim's heading towards bot side for Dragon. I've got enough for Shadow Flame, so I can just reset here and then regroup Hexgate into Dragon if we want. If Lucian was a little bit better, he could have pulled it off. He played it pretty well. Like, he was using his dashes pretty nicely. This is just maybe if he adds another auto into his combo there. Alright, so we're rushing a little bit. Nobody's in position yet, so getting caught out of position gives him a chance to actually get something done on the map. Fortunately, really huge combo we find on the back. Really good Gale Force. I'm getting as close as possible, so there's less travel time on my skills. I don't need to play at max range right there, because I'm already... There's nothing they can do to me. So if you ever wonder why I maintain such a close or tight positioning, it's because I just want to make sure it's impossible to dodge. It does give them a chance to do damage back, but if their goal is like running away, they will not hit you back. So sometimes your range is meant to be flexible. You shouldn't always just play a max range. So I see a lot of people QW and then back up until their skills come back up, but if you reposition forward, you're staying in range and making it harder for them to exit your maximum range. Oh. I'm dead here, guys. Can anybody name the mistake that I've made 3 times here? It's the exact same play. All 3 times, I've done the exact same mistake. We could do a Baron right now. We can also just wait 3 minutes and 30 seconds. This is part of the reason why Kindred is so powerful, is like being able to do early dragons and transition that to another win condition. Because we have a lot of ways to win the game, right? You can split push, you can team fight, you can play for your hyper carry. We have all those options this game. And then having another one on top of that, like Dragon, that just allows you to force whatever play you want. It's really, really significant. Alright, he still has Gale Force, so I can't really ult as well. Should have just ulted right there. Hecarim's top, so I'm not really worried about getting dive bombs, especially with Camille showing bottom as well. So the 3 players who are here currently just don't have the ability to engage on me. Now Hecarim might come from behind, so that's something I'm watching for with my stopwatch. And we just turn on backline here. We should be fine. He dashed forward, so if we just keep running him down. He's got no escape card right now. Oh, we got the cannon, it's all worth. Alright, so we have 2 death timers. Essentially, when you get kills, your goal is to transition those death timers into meaningful map progression, like taking towers, taking objectives. Again, this is a greedy decision, but we do have the ability to just force this play. But if we get an inhibitor, it makes the game significantly easier to close out. I think we recover here with Kindred ult. Oh, no. But 2 death timers, we take inhibitor, tower. We don't really want to go for the second one because it's risky. The real bet is we should all reset and we should go do Baron. And if they try to fight us at Baron, we just kill them as they enter. But this is a pretty good Baron timer, and then we just reset into Dragon as well. Soul is a 92% win rate, so if you ever get Soul, the game is essentially like guaranteed to be in your favor. Part of that is like, if you're able to do 4 dragons in a row, your team probably is going to win no matter what, but you get the general idea. 92% is a really high number. Nice try. But yeah, we just want to set up this dragon with our remaining wards. And if we guarantee this, the game's essentially over. Yeah, homies are, like, Camille's a really good champion. Taking jungle camps away is also really good at, like, stopping them. No smite though, so that's good. If they try to enter and we have vision like this, they just... Wait, what? Oh, they surrendered. Okay. GG. I was like, what the fuck are we engaging for? What ELO is this? It's a normal game. Thanks for watching, guys. If you liked the video, make sure to like and subscribe, and have a wonderful night. Bye-bye.